Welcome everyone, this is AndresRestart, and today we are talking about the lack of a Nintendo Direct. What is going on? I have been talking about a Nintendo Direct for the last few weeks. Everyone's been talking about a Nintendo Direct for the last few weeks. And a lot of us are thinking that by today, it would have happened, and yet, it hasn't happened. So what's going on here? Was it canceled? Was it delayed? Were the rumors for a partner showcase false? Well, the jury's still out right now. But I do feel like I should personally take some level of accountability here, because I was talking about some things I personally heard, and then because other people then came out and said similar things, I was thinking, oh, maybe there is some truth to this. Now, of course, I've always tried to make it clear that I'm just telling you guys what I think, and I've tried to explain why I think what I think, but it is just what I think. I do not know what is going to happen. And when it comes to talking about plans before they're officially announced, they are subject to change. And I think that's what's going on here, but I'm also sure many people are just going to assume that the rumors were false to begin with. So, let me explain what I think is happening here. But before doing that, I think I should sort of clarify what the rumor was in case you're a little bit out of the loop. So, the basic rumor here was that a partner showcase, a Nintendo Direct Mini partner showcase, the smaller directs that just show third-party stuff, was supposed to happen this month of February. And I still think it might, just for the record. We still have 2 weeks less than a month, so it could still happen. But that was part of the rumor. And then this information came alongside this idea that Nintendo Switch 2 would be revealed next month, March. And so, it's kind of like a potentially bittersweet situation. Not a lot of Nintendo fans want to see a partner showcase because it's lesser, has less Nintendo announcements. And there's that, but if we get a Switch 2 reveal in March, that's pretty exciting, right? So, it kind of goes both ways here. But Universal Nintendo reported that a Direct would be happening on the 15th. And so other people have said that they've heard similar things about a partner showcase and a Switch 2 reveal, like Nate the Hate, Wood from Beat 'em Up, and Universal Nintendo has suggested similar things as well. But here we are, it's February 15th when the Direct was reported to happen, and doesn't look like it's happening right now. And even Pure on Twitter, the most credible leaker of all time, is suggesting that I never heard anything for this week, so what are you guys talking about? So, that's what appears to be kind of going on. We were thinking a partner showcase, and it hasn't happened, and now it's calling into question the rumor itself, the sources, and this possibility of Switch 2 in March. But something that happened earlier this week that a lot of people did not pick up on, myself included, I kind of wish I did, is information that came from Jeff Grubb. Now, this is what Jeff Grubb has said on Twitter. I know no one wants to hear this, but just like when the Queen died, this is real. I heard earlier this week that they were discussing moving the Direct because of the Xbox business update. I've never known the date for sure. I've only ever heard by the middle of February. And so there's a lot to take away from this. I personally never heard a specific date. Nate the Hate at first didn't mention a specific date, neither did Wood from Beat 'em Ups. Universal Nintendo reported on the 15th. And it looks like that's not what's happening right now, right? So does that mean that Universal Nintendo put out false information or was wrong? Well, I mean, the information isn't true, but I don't think it's because they're reporting on non-valid sources here. I think they put out the report because that's what they understood was likely going to be the case, but it appears plans have changed. Now, had you asked me yesterday, was the Direct delayed because of the Xbox podcast that's happening today? And I would have said, probably no. But at the same time, this Xbox podcast is not just the typical Xbox presentation. If it was just a normal Xbox presentation, I would definitely say, no, that doesn't make sense. But I think this is a more fragile, delicate situation that we're talking about here. This Xbox podcast is in response to all of the negativity and reports and rumors that were coming out last week about Xbox going third party and putting their games on a whole bunch of other platforms. And in a way, this would somewhat spell the end of Xbox. And so there's been a lot of conversation and hostility about this overall situation. And so Xbox put out a statement saying that they would be addressing it this week. And it's looking like this podcast is them addressing all of that. And so this is a more delicate situation. What transpires during this podcast is pretty important. And so it's going to be interesting to see what they say during the show. Maybe by the time you watch this video, they've already relayed what their plans are for Xbox moving forward and how they're going to be putting their games out there for different platforms. But if this is to be the case, if this is why the partner showcase was delayed, then it does kind of imply that there are going to be Xbox announcements, or at least a Xbox announcement in this partner showcase. So if we get a partner showcase next week and it has an Xbox announcement, I would say that this rumor about a partner showcase and a Switch to reveal still holds water. And I would say it's totally accurate, actually. It's just one place that's reported on the February 15th date, and we all sort of believe that because if you look at the history of Nintendo Directs, the Directs tend to happen either the first or second full week of the month, and so when they don't happen by that point, they don't really happen. There are some exceptions. We go back to last year when we had a Summer Direct. It happened later than usual because there wasn't an E3, and so, maybe it does happen next week, and Nintendo simply moved around plans because there is this delicate situation going on with one of their partners, Xbox, and they wanted to give them the opportunity to kind of address their fan base. It's believed that maybe, that Xbox would have talked about this information eventually anyways, but they moved it up because of everything that's happening right now with the conversations online, with the fan base being in a bit of an uproar. And so maybe that's what's going on here. We know that Nintendo historically has actually made decisions in the past that seem like head scratchers, but were in an effort to be conscientious of others. Look at what they did to Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Because of the wars going on around the world, they delayed this game. A cartoony game, of a remake of a Game Boy Advance game that was definitely geared towards children, but technically is about war, and so they felt that would be insensitive, so they delayed the game a significant amount of time, to an extent that I think kind of ruined its sales potential. So, do I think that maybe the partner showcase was delayed to next week because of the Xbox podcast? I do now. So, I think that's what's going on here. But again, I want to go back to the whole accountability thing. I'm just telling you what I think is happening, and I try to explain clearly why I believe what I believe. And what I try to encourage is for people to come to their own conclusions based off the evidence and think for themselves, right? So I explain why I think what I think is going to happen, and I still think the partner showcase is going to happen. I don't believe the sources are false. I think the plans changed, because when we're talking about things before they're officially announced, they are subject to cancellations or changes. And so this looks like what's going on, but we won't know for sure until next week. And I guess what I really want to say is that I guess maybe I should have been a little bit more cautious about saying, I think this is going to happen. Because when I say I think it's going to happen, I guess some people are like, oh, well, you're right. But there are other people out there, even bigger people, that maybe feel the same way. We'll see. For now, at least I'll say I'm wrong on thinking the Direct would have happened already. I thought the Direct was going to happen in the first full week of the month, and it didn't happen then, and it didn't happen the second full week of the month. So we got next week. It feels a little bit late, but if it's just a partner showcase, then I don't think it matters that much. But only time will really tell. What do you guys think? Do you think the rumors are false? Do you think that it is still happening? Let me know. I personally think that something has to happen, because Nintendo's never gone through January and February without some kind of presentation, at least during the Switch era. So this would be a first if we don't get any kind of direct this month. But again, I'm curious. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This is Andres Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.